Welcome to episode 3 of Back Porch Pilgrimage. Thank you for joining me on the journey. One of the bits of Camino wisdom I heard repeated fairly often was this: a tourist checks the weather, a pilgrim walks. Each day's weather is simply a part of the path the pilgrim is given. Sometimes I enjoyed brilliant sunshine and luscious blue skies. Sometimes there was wind and rain. Sometimes I was cold. Other times I was hot. No matter what weather greeted me in the early morning or developed along the way as the day wore on, well, I simply kept putting one foot in front of the other. I remember walking for an hour or so on a particularly gorgeous morning with a guy from Florida. He was making his 5th Camino. We were commenting on the ideal walking conditions that day, and then he told me about a friend of his who had traveled the Camino a few years back. It rained on my friend for 30 out of 35 days. And when I asked him if that had ruined his trip, my friend replied, "Once I stopped feeling sorry for myself on day 7, I started to relish the whole process. I began to learn how to better waterproof some stuff and live with the constant dampness of other stuff." Pilgrims banded together and walked in larger groups. We taught each other common phrases from our respective language. We sung songs. We laughed uproariously at our good fortune that we were getting baptized frequently, joking that obviously some of us needed more cleansing than others. And you know what else? When the sun did shine, for an hour or two, or even for the better part of a day, the light was so brilliant and the skies were so translucent, I felt reborn. The experiences I had on my Camino were part and parcel of the walk God gave me. Everyone's journey is different, and my journey was perfect for me. My companion smiled as he finished retelling his friend's story. "You know it's true," he said. "A tourist checks the weather. A pilgrim walks." Yep. I've been thinking about that Camino wisdom quite a bit these last few weeks. How am I being changed in this present set of circumstances? What does walking the pilgrim way with Jesus look like when I'm spending lots of time being still at home? What am I learning about myself and my spiritual life? Now that my days lack any sort of regular itinerary, how can I be attentive to spontaneity and learn to appreciate the challenges and opportunities that arrive with each sunrise? We're always checking the weather, either literally or metaphorically, aren't we? We try to figure out whether or not we will have a good day based on circumstances which are often beyond our control. Being prepared for conditions is one thing. Refusing to walk unless everything is perfect, well, that's quite another. For those of us who are followers of Jesus, our faith assures us we are never making the journey of life by ourselves. We believe we are supported by God's presence and by our fellow pilgrims too. Today, the words from Scripture which are sustaining me on the path that God has given me to travel are from Psalm 37, verses 23 and 24. Our steps are made firm by the Lord when He delights in our way. Though we stumble, we shall not fall headlong, for the Lord upholds us by the hand. Keep on walking, my friends. You never know who you'll meet out there on the way.